emeyo mo adoye ensamuno ebi eka wodon hwere ba ko entamakua ajewa kwode magepeni amede ba beso mo afen samuno enchiremu eni Penyina wano akasa de ma edom kuma no wo mahye sikasem ho eyo onumunyafo Isaac Adongo na wo kiremu ese abanje ya wode aba se mahye bedwafo no nyintuma sika 1.5 billion Ghana cedis yenyi emfa ema wano musika kamu ebra na banks ahodo ne yeye sakraye wo mu wo kwakire wo mo eno no owura Isaac Adongo ade atodwa akire mu se eya amanyosem na aban eyefise bre we mu no enye sa na mo we na aban se otu
I did a lecture at Kama Conference Center. And at that program, I told you that I had received a call from His Excellency John Dramani Mahama saying that I should tell the people of Ghana that when he wins power, he will pay everybody. You remember? Immediately they went and issued papers. You remember that? They gave everybody a bond. Do you remember that? What happened to the bonds? 2024 is another election. They've forgotten that 2020 they made that promise. People have even forgotten where the papers are lying. You remember when SEC used Consolidated Bank, that disgraced bank, that is almost like a susu shop, that they should come. People who have them should come and register, and I told them that they don't even have that capacity because those companies have not been liquidated. And per our securities laws, you can revoke the license which you have degraded, but the assets of the company are not yours. The assets of the company are vested in the hands of the Registrar General, who must go to court to be appointed a liquidator of the company and then agree how to dispose of the assets of the company and distribute the assets of the company. So on what basis are you asking people to come and register their interests? You don't have the mandate. You remember I said that? Hasn't it come to pass? Some of you thought that it was politics I was doing. In 2021, in the budget, under other government obligations, they budgeted for 5.5 billion Ghana cedis to pay off those fund managers, people who were owing, on those transactions. They budgeted 5.5 billion. Not even a dime was released. So how can you budget 5.5 a couple of years ago? You have not paid the debt. And this time, you haven't paid, but the debt becomes 1.5. At the time you said 5.5, it was 8 billion. And you said at least we will pay them in tranches. So let's do 5.5 in 2021. 2022, it disappeared from the budget. Then suddenly the president who has brought a budget here and has been approved without provision says that I will conjure some 1.5 billion outside of the appropriation. I am going to commit even an illegality, even though we don't even trust you. So how did 5.58 billion become 1.5?
A College of Education mo achirechirefo ni adwumayefo ewo atuatie mu niema bi enkoye emo muntinu nanai amudi niema aguho enam so amabusa South Mashibedwani where deputy ranking member on education ewo Mashibedwam Dr. Clement Apak ede ato abayanim se wonhwe na achirechirefo no ensem no wontie no ntu ho anamo afenso eka aban ede waye k no wontua se ebeboa ma afi BEC nsohwe no enkra no atimi atwero.
The majority side of parliament, if they are minded to worry about education, they should be calling on government to meet its obligations to the teachers of our public colleges of education. The teachers of the public colleges of education have been on strike today for 12 days. Teaching and learning has come to a standstill in our colleges of education, all because government is failing to meet its obligation to the teachers of the public colleges of education. This is what we expect the majority leader and his side to take up. The majority leader and his side should be worried about the fact that government owes WAEC. And because of that, WAEC is struggling to find resources so that it can properly organize this year's BECE exam, which would commence on the 8th of next month. That is what they should be worried about. Rather than telling government to pay WAEC the full 80 million Ghana cedis, government has only paid 47 million Ghana cedis. And yet the same majority has lied to Ghanaians that government has paid 80 million Ghana cedis, which is untrue. These are the matters that they should be worried about.
Yes, Journey Prince Akwato Gradi Film Ashibedwem Ebreye. Edom Kumano Edikan Esigina yes Ebra court betnasia Owura atofo sen ambulance won sensem ye befre no wamo enko mrashibedwem na enei akosisei Prince Akwaba
Oba mejoso
Edom Kumano omoba mrashibedwem adwuma ne
Yema Ghana for Akwaba na Edom Kumano said omudi kan esigina ye no mo chire mo se enya de a etapia Owura atofo sen no ye minority leader ebi pim e wasem dibia me chire court ho no baba no ampa enanso omodi se ayoyo na se me no ka say minority wo na say Edom Kumanko for obetumi edu mani atwa mo so no so fa ne de enimpa mienu Owura John Jinapo and Owura Haruna Idrisu wo kwa no omure ma no mo pie aso mo ko sign on attendance note mu na omo pie abonten but as to say bi on betema say ne na se fo ne de enya de a etesa omo seat no e da ho no vacant a we kan say ehihwi enya de a opia echeso na oni amanfo bi di nkomade o kan nyina no say wogina ya wosi ye say kosi say Owura atofo sensem no eto obi twa ne de enya de won so government business de obetena say asoso so in the say no bi o ha bi wa twaye mu say say bi ama so je fe betumi akwa asetena mate say bi be no me ensa echide ko no ansa na e bi business no etumi akoso. Don't forget to say enche bi anso no by July year mu no and say end of July year mu no kra no ombetumi akwa homeji bi em say so mo ko recess enche bi no mo ba ye enche bi so mo san akwa homeji bi in the say ko ba ne say bi adane da nyina no the say na e ko no a na just say bre ne be so na afi pressure ba da ho and na jo 11 o'clock ne 2 o'clock bi em assessment sabi and e be ko nto ba question na obi say ne de minority boycott no and now say most stage say enya de oba chamber ko si say Owura 2007 no e be wie no and then so omodi we say ayoyo
yen share almost standing orders no ne ne mawdo ankene on beka ho asem no ebi ne de yin
ene bi aban hihye ya na say ne nyuma hodo a on ba be chine mo no business statement no e be say for say is unfortunate say nkita me standing order me order paper no e wo me nchen wa ha no me say but nyama hodo a on betumi a consider no every or no more fancy about almost base of 6 and also mutumi consider na omutumi hu say this is water and e be e ka ho asem and nyama bi say na e be gina ho asem yen pese be mislead obi and the best so when the better maybe a wie mo from to the betumi dey start ya kan nyina no e dey ma Ghana for nti oba ho dey yes Ghana for the who do on answer na
yen hwe e dey na edom dodo no so e ka dey afa ho
dey edom dodo kan nyina ne say minority decision omo chire ne say omo ba amrahye ojafie say omo ba beye business e dey ama omo representative na say ko ba ne say bi a obi Owura atofo sen ye to abama no e na won waka odi na chi na so ye to abama wo mo enti say ko ba ne say bi ono no waka adwa mu na won susu say bi ono kokot na mo nyina waka no mu di akire say mo ekọ de na che say mo ama say mo ba aba beye adwuma de ama mo peso asofo na mo ba so beye adwuma de ama Owura atofo sen and into the minority area no emma business I would also ekoso no into me enkoso and no in some that's the accusation make can say that do no omode accuse the minority who is the minority side no so the most mo can say even at that e bi oman ko ba bia no kra no the majority no so ya na say omodi e bi Owura vice president echi into no dey blame ne dey we di ma we are we so elema we say but they don't the majority the mo can say omunja the mo ye no because Owura to force one lawyer into one the lawyers betumi aye na business no etumi akoso esa no nti na manfo no eto abama omo se omo mra begina mo maso jafie omo ama se omo ko gina court
etina Edom Kumane de domo kan so Owura to force na sam no yenja idie anase yenye den
mama pacho brebi mkaka mama
Edom Kumano ensem omo di gina so ne se Owura to force na ambulance asem no yenja idie anase yenye den
se uhwe se de nemasi ko ne dia na che se said omo chim said anytime be Owura to force be pim court omo akudi akire no na che se ne aban se be ha adwen a so pese unwuma koso de ne nje akire di nje se question na wo kan ene yomo so hwehwe no ebetumi ahia se wo pese o business e koso de a ene Owura to force no ne sam na e bia ye koso court no yenje echiredi na yenhwe se betumi ama wo business awodo a ekọ so efan se se ne de wo hwa a meka ne se MPP aban ene wo so eno nti no se ko ba ne se omo hante owura meka ne sa anya se bia sa na te se bia to force ne gina court na so mo nyina lokọ kodi echiredi a ene se wo pese business na ade ekọ so na amamu no so tumi gina na so de ene e be yanka twa aseminim na owura to force ende no ho se be ya nyina so betumi adjust e betubum akodi na chi wo court no ye tumi atena chamber na business bi o se consider bia no ye tumi consider
jo ye da se ne gina wono mo na ejina tenten no abom pempen no enti anwumre besia babiem na yesa ne wadi nkomo
medase bebre
Prince Accra ye yense ntwe ne oto nkrade film ra hye edemaye edom kuma no kire mu se Doctor atofo sin ambulance case in sensem e court no de bia befre bi omo enko mrahye bedwuma enei omo edesie ayoyo a omo ankwa yedi ho enkomo na head of programs our no Ghana National Education Campaign Coalition enedi tudwa achim se free SHS Intraso School no abade abano ankebe ya wonye review ensakraye wom neka awofo ne ahwefo no omo nsem wo bio ne yem omo kwan na omo mram emebo ofise abane nko so mu no aye ne mudu
Yajitumo say the free SHS has come to actually help students. Ebia yes free SHS na anka ebia na omotimi go school. One problem we are having is defining exactly what is free when it comes to the implementation of our free education policies. Why do I say that? We always have some hidden costs. Because parents are being told, say, it is free, honestly, we have some parents who genuinely don't have the means, but we believe, sir, if they are aware, sir, they will still take care of certain cost component of the policy. Now they will be prepared enough to ensure that they perform their responsibilities when it comes to the education of their children. When you look at the feeding component of the free SHS, what you say, or how be there was a time a lot of schools didn't even have food for the students. Because there's no way a child can learn study effectively with hunger and any possible. And so for us as a coalition, we're even advocating, say government should at least open up so that parents could even come in to take the feeding component of the policy. A teacher can only handle a certain number of students at a time, but if the number exceeds the number the teacher is able to handle now, automatically it will affect quality. It is very important that government we train more teachers. There is an issue with quality when it comes to the implementation of the policy. We are calling on government to ensure, say, the policy is reviewed. In fact, we have the experts. Nyansa de sebi any obakutrim enti ehunbe hia say we bring all the relevant stakeholders together to brainstorm and come out with the best way forward when it comes to the implementation of the policy.
Na UN resident coordinator our Ghana ha eye Owura Charles Abani na wode ato civil society organizations awdim se afi December date so enso dane se bo se dan a yebeko sinanim akwakoto aba ne woka kire mu nyina dane se omunhwe eno mo ankwa nkodi amanyoko bi achi anka ensem a emfa asumdwe ema wo munyina wono mo na omumudie no NCP ensita
we a Ghana Civil Society Forum eno a platform ye edema civil society organizations wo omanyimu wo mo asinkonwa wono ehwe wadwuma said ye no betimi aboa ama amamuo ene mpuntu a obi a betimi aka ho bi no atimi apaso sa forum we ebia bia wo mo ehwe keka nyoma bomu wo mutu anamonpa eno no yebehunu afei de ye no kre anade ye papa no so ebecha mo manfo anya so emfaso sa forum we no wo mo efaso ema civil society organizations ahodo ewo omanyimu no ehia ema obi atimi kire na dwene sikasem empuntuo afei sede be ya enkwa fa baby na enyoma nyina betumi aka abomo UN resident coordinator Ghana Ora Charles Abani efa sakonya we so e de afutuo etu civil society organizations say
Ghana's democracy is advancing, and one of the key indicators of that is it is increasingly issues based, and so positioning oneself around issues rather than political parties, I think allows the legitimacy of the points to be made across the board. And so if you look at ideology, figuring out what is the ideology and what is it that we're trying to achieve. And I think I said in my statement actually that I'm almost agnostic to who achieves it, as long as we achieve these things. And these important things are equality, inclusion, the ability for everybody to have a prosperous world. And by aligning sometimes around political interests, we tend to get ourselves boxed and caged. And so it's important for civil society to remain unhandcuffed in that particular conversation by ensuring that it speaks constructively to the issues that need to be addressed.
Position civil society organizations as non-partisan. Obia won vote, but as civil society organizations, we are supposed to be non-partisan because we play a very key role in the elections. Star Ghana has been organizing debates for the presidential election candidates, for the parliamentary candidates. CDD has been observing what takes place at the polling stations. If we are seen to be aligned with one side or the other, it affects our ability to promote credible and peaceful elections. So I think what he has said is in order. CSOs, they are not always NGOs. If one political party comes together and says they want to, one political party comes out to say that we want to set up a CSO to amplify our message, there's nothing wrong with it. So if you choose to be non-aligned, then be non-aligned. But if you are aligned, there's nothing wrong with it.
Seshimasi wa Western North Mountain ni mehono ena Kwame Saa a no e opinion leader. Ofira wa ba homane so e ba bedi nkomo ba komienu bi. Eja saa me wa kwa ba o.
Ba ya mu ya jemuzo.
Seshimasi wo ne dia de na ekoso ho no mapese yeti ho asemi.
Ba jo Seshimasi wo Western North anwa ku forest. Na se ye forest no de ya na say galamse fo bi abetu egu forest no so almost say no. Including Nuya, ya do yana, move to Nina to a good. Ya, we didn't go home for say, Soja for be more so more Soja for, be more so more penny for me, and no more year Jumano. I can't bump any woman here. A forestry, a division war, be any. Ama, almost the rapid for background, went to this for poor. Ya, forest and say, ya, no more saying. Ya, better buying a bump. Said a bear, or more say a fire in a day. On betting up a more free. Say, you guarantee the say a bayan punk and coupon. Can you fire moon a yano? But wait, a fire and or more year forest. Be with the can't say a hop. Am I buying them? The support of almost a sea excavator, you know, W. I make a say, a bimus system, a bimus swap war, almost to press almost to him. It is a buying a man who I had there, and I have to keep. Forest na eda ho no man se na merewa yi ne de forest de ye nya bi na se nua no ya aban ni
eje mi pa cho ma mi se misa o wono mo eye sa galamse no hifa no mu firi baaye no mo se ma mo na soma o mo
ye nim ba bi o mu firi baaye ye hu ya ne se o ma se o mu fidie akoyi si ho no ma o mo ye sa adwuma no ana ebi mo so ade o mo fidie di akoyi si kwan ho ho se o mo pesa o mo su kwesem akoyi die o ko bi sa o mo nkan mu lokre nkyere o ya bompani fo wo area ho amade obi anye ho hwe pa na ekoso ya me say ya me mo ka say no me life is danger because o mo hu say ye mo no ye mkene so enti o mo nya ye kora mo fa ye ho nkyeye sa bro ya me no ka say kora sa na o ma ye no ti o mo hu say wo mbo mu na o ye say ya no mo atake o ma send ye warning bebre but ye so hu say ye na esikuru mo say ya nhwe na se niam bi ya tete sa na mfu ho no ma da ye na ye ho bekere ye enu ntina ye fere say aban no e fa na 90 form sa de be ya sa niam na e koso ho no no nyina tu bi twa
omo sha ase ache
akyɛ kakra na forest foɔ no yɛ na ɔmo asoma rapid foɔ no na ɔmo aba na ɔmo ne ɔmo apere so a na ayɛ te sɛ akɔfam kakra na ɔmo asen asɔre nti saa na ɛkɔ so wɔ hɔ.
Na kurom wɔ hene nso so dɛn na wɔka afa ho?
Ɔnka hwee bi amfa ho ɛsan sɛ ɔmo nyinaa na yɛ ɔmo agye sɛ ɔmo bɛyɛ bi nti
wɔhene no ne mpanifoɔ ne sɛ ɔmo bɛyɛ bi.
Say no, we are here na say won country in fast ho dia say silence means consent. Nya dia omo ka ho bibia ye forestry panyin na o ba bia ni no yakɔ ne na so aye na famu die ba so na no ekusi aga nti ye nim say ya de first dikasi so ne ye ka dia ye nim say ne ma nyina be so di
yo yada se eja kwa mesa Kwame Sane ni di nkomo no woye opinion leader ewo Sehwimase na wo kire mu se galamsefo bi aba be hyepom wo no mo amakwaye brentu aye twa to wo no mo no omabọ awura mu funtum asase ni muntum asase ni yi asase ni yem srade a enya asanketu ani timpeniform anya se Green Ghana project ne kwampo no ebeye kwa na ga manche eye kentekite ekochiri a wotoso miensa wadi atudwa atrem se afi edane se bo se den ya Ghana yebekọ sinanim akoto aba eyo mampanyi ani mrahye bedwafiemufo na enkramantemu ne bekire nipa a obedi nkunim bade etoso enso ewo afi wese mu Ghana yekọ sinanim akoto aba ena gama nchede atudwa akyerem se amanyofo a mobebọ ntoa ewo afi abatuo ni mu no moma mo nsem no enye asomdwie ene periperiye na moman Ghana edi nkunim wakiremu ese afi abatuo no enkramantem ne bekye nipa obedi nkunim na eyade bi so beye abakosam kese ewo Ghana ye hyehyeye ahoduo mu wasere se obi bia danye na afamu de na se ebre ne so se yeto aba na yemfredi enkoto aba no na yenyi nipa wo se fata no omeye omampanyini na yenyina de ya bai beto no so ehuhia papa
a proper step process, and for us to attain it we must be convinced by where it's taking us. It's standing a mile away from your opponent who is speaking on top of his voice things that you would never say in 3 whole years, but you would hear it and still for the sake of peace alone overlook it. That is when you have attained that mark of democracy. When people speak what they want to speak, when people say what they want to say, that because of peace, yet when Jole he walk, go more down. Yeah, Keshi Osemo Beye. Yeah. Yeah, Keshi Opeko Chichi. Yeah. Yeah, Keshi Jenu Jo. Yeah. But Keha ni twin Jole. Yeah. Kabama. Yeah. War. Yeah. No cure. Yeah. That is where we need to get to. That is where we have come to, because this year's election, Accra will decide. Yes. Accra will decide. And I want to say this, that it's about the most important election in the whole of the Fourth Republic. But we need to understand that we are Ghanaians. And we need to understand that we must restrain ourselves from being used to hurt each other.
Tunsium aya brono ewo asante mampon asante mantem asem na make na sisi amika sensu atopa ensuo ni toye akiri ni nipa beye enum 5 omo ho aka enya asem kitwe bi krampo no enya baby ena
baya 12:30 kra na yehu sensuo no ebua fa ha se ye gate kra se ayi aboba bi kra na pem no bie no nsuo no di pie no ema no ebae so see amanfo moa meboa ye na se abu ye dan no kra achi agu nti yesrem a mumra mahwe na moa emaba wa na ati akire ho no wo mo adam nyina niema wo mo dam nyina sei obi wo laptop kra wo mo de ye adwum wo de eco school be ma ba ko ene wo ba ba ko wo mo laptop na so sei aye ensuo Yes, so one aban and assembly for no inch or money, no mamma, and Mabawano, and my to say, yeah, Diabu. Oh, a chair honmo, a toilet and bath near a ye honmo, a book, I say, to Madame, Moano, no more boy, ma, bibia so ento ye. Na kwada wo fie ha mbom so nyame adom obi a ho anka. Bia ho anka. Akwara na ye de wo mo ba ye ho no mo. Ye so ye port mo ho no. Nti se de enye ayi bia na mo ye sre wo mo. Wo mo maye mo animani mu ya mama ba wa na wo mo so ehun to wo mo. Nti wo mo niam ne wo mo sika. Obi aboabo ne sika no aja wo de koto na ade o se nsuo no afine ne carpet ni nyina de ko hu ba bia ye ko ye ko pesca no ya ye hu carpet no kora na campus bia ye hu se e da so ana so nti madawroma omumra na omeboaye MP ni nkrofo
so start be 10 mu ho nti ye da ho na dwa na betete so bra ye dem ho ye ti ye ni atase ye ni amanyinara asay ebi atwa kogu gata mu asie ho yesika nyina chichi akogu ya matwese so asay ti esere mama boa na me kwan ne yefie nsumaye yefie fa abu e dapade nyina asay ti esere mama boa ye wo yehia moa na boa ye ni ba bi do ene kro enya ba bi e beda enya ba bi e beda esere munti maboa ye hia moa e kwan no e kwan so mbe na mbe fie kwan na anya kwan na still na so be sa be twa fa ha nti munya kwan na e gatare mai na msa na fie no sa mai ye mattress ye sika nyina ayera he obi atare mpo na maje amase
Orua bi konya akwanhye okumase ne kran kwantempo no so me de niko suhuma abaya resabia ewi echi no frimu ema kroma no de tudwa kire mu se nurse for ni doctors no na anyo mbadwuma ne nam so ma orua no hwe ne kwa omokoto hye eye aduyefo no so anya samketu akra yense ntwe ni kra jesi amankwa krampo eho ekan bia ene anopa yi ye kan mu asam ade kire etie sapo bi ne abisa ne se how far so far jesi akwaba amankwa amankwa uma no enya ntomu tie tomu pere ni bedi nkomo ni abisa ne sesia no sei na asumdwe wunsima kwakosie bambofo achi obi ana sei na kwakosie a enche kura no ye ni bedi enkomo afa ho nti o ma ye die yetoa ensem so de ni achemwo akache North Mercy Kropon Assembly a eno from Mantemo na enema wodro eboa ma setena mutumpon te se kwanpa ensupa ayaresabia ni schools awodro no mu enibi meja bonte na mekasa eye networks awodro nso enkoye entie ne omuso mu hia mpenifom a yemra meso mu abia.
But as at now we are still having a lot of challenges in our school. We have classroom block from KG up to class 6, and then we don't have a JHS block. So our children are still in under schooling under 3. So we are pleading with the government to come and help us with a classroom block which our JHS students can use. And secondly, the place is very, very deprived. So we don't have a proper road. Before our women go to market, they suffer a lot before going to market. So we are pleading with the government to help us so that we can have a proper route, so that when our women want to go to a hospital and then a market, they can go easily. Thirdly, we don't have a light. So this community, there is no light. So our teachers too, they suffer a lot before teach our students. So we are pleading with the government to intervene and give us a light. That is a lot. That's our challenges in this community.
And I've been posted to this community since 2017, and I've been here almost 8 good years now, teaching over here. And the community, in fact, is a very remote area, and it's not motorable at all. It's not accessible. When it comes to rainy season like this, the road is very, very, very bad. That it even prevents most teachers who are commuting from other communities before coming to the school to be absent from school. We are 10 in number in the school over here, but as I'm speaking right now, we are only 3 teachers present today because of the poor nature of the road. Yes, and the other challenge too is that the students, they don't have textbooks. There are no textbooks that we using to teach the students, so it makes reading on the part of the students a challenge. And to add to it, the JHS, which we are patronizing, the JHS2 has no classroom blocks, so they are living under a shade, which when it is raining, the students have to live there and then converge in other classroom before, after the rain, if maybe the place is okay, that's when we can only use it.
And then the it's not a clinic you see her a few NGO you see we are there the ama presby asafo and I am near dom or modern nurses abaha and any agency but share nurses no and anyone but share a chrono catch on say one so no so omuntimi emboa and see any about him.
The administration of the Presbyterian Church who has built this clinic for us. And today we are happy to have them here. We need a solar panel for the clinic because there is no electricity. So we need a solar panel for the clinic so that they can be using for now.
No, I do so and away can you soon computer course on a been home for school. Until I hear the address will be
Amankwa Jesse Amankwa Timinka
Instagram me ton kan
aha me pa cho my update e was Sum hospital mo bra e kwato show mo so no how far
mra o kwato show won so ni ntino say according to doctors for a wo so hu amamanya nti asese omunyama bebre mrante ne ba no ma sese no o share emergency word ho no ma o main gate na o break glass ni ade ni say gate ni kwa de entimi kura nkantu nti no hospital ho no ma aihwe afei hospital bed ni ade nyina nso no bebre no ho no ma o ma sese na ne ekoba ne se o ma famudie na o so mo ye ne kyerese abrantie eye akwadwo no obde ne baaye no o mtimi hye ema ne ho eto ne kakra na abrantie do no accident no nya ni nti no o mo twa ne eswe no na ne sre ne ne nan dompeni nyina ebubububu anka o mo prepare se obde ni refer na kokoforidia na so mprempren ya ekua me no cafe suhu hospital omuni ambulance
ade ya che no mo anya bi
ekua bia bi
de ya che ya no ambulance ne ya che ya no mo anya bi
sumu ambulance national one de afei ekua hospital na nkasa nso ambulance omu isu no eno so afei I break it down
omundi bisiesie
omu chese ese no omu prefan eska no mu de ese ambulance no na ambulance no ese enkomba entinu emergency bia ba ese some refer ni pan de kokofori dia na sa kran ese taxi ena omu isu de refer ni pano na endra abrante no de ne ba no na welusu mu ja bebrebe na so mutimi bo hu modern stabilize no anka ese omu pe ambulance no ma refer na kokofori dia na ambulance no ma nya bia abrante no omu hwe ya we free atasefo asasi so entino na update kakra e wo no etia now so impremprenya police for no take over every say according to doctors in say I'm ranting number say no be brain say no ma call report to Sum police station ama Sum police station police for no so no I take over I share ranting I be would rather some hospital on now o ma make arrest
na wankasa no ho te say
ya me adom Izekaya me hu ye anpay me hu ye ma check up asiamba anpay ntini nyame adom me hu ye
na ambulance na omo si asay no Sumu hospital omo ba obi ba omo nji sika
Sekaya se national health insurance ni ntino ska sam de omo ni bi sesian every say tema ambulance no kwa ye adwuma no doctors for wo kire se omo ankasa na ambulance no se ni bibi engine no break ana se bibi nko yi a omo won sika ana akwa ambulance ne kakra ko sise na de agini nsem kra o hwe mechanism niema sise ewo ambulance ni ma so bi ba no mo refer no to koforidua na se Accra omdi onyinu atoka enim na niema no stabilize onipa ko ne kakra sise de bi ni ambulance ni kra o sise ambulance ni sise de agini ho kra omo ye hwe enye yi
aye 2020 ne si wo
aye totowa na si horom na se sky se omuhwe ma ambulance ni ye no so hospital na hoden entimi so nti omo fa sa akonya we di asere na aban no hwe na ombre won ambulance national ambulance no so no eno so suhum de na asai menya ne nti yese afei na mpanifo ehwe no mesese ambulance no e de abasuhum
anti aya no wakọ assembly ni wo makobi so mo se aden na ambulance asai dada na wo momeye emfanye akrankwa why
mate
medase yese njoni jesi amankwa efoni general mosquito ono ne ete ne nka edi free suhum abanya resabia ebra emrante kwa no kire mu se owura bi ewu omonte ase dom koye basabasa ono kra wo pirae na sunyame adom ne ho eye kube krom number 1 eno wo ponkataman so mesi kropon assembly nim ewo enkra ha ade chere chem se nanse omusuru gujemu pa ebeye afinie na langas fo abeji pom wo no mo aboso a omutututuo eye akaka bensem a ha adwene timpelifo enkasama wo
yo how pa se ni hawani editro langard haye bra me na da ye bre so usu dan ba be se me kura bra ma bra se metimi abetena no wuti fie kura ye bokokoko efie wa twa fence wo no omutimi wuram so wo ye adwuma de obeye biara omba beju eso mu wura ho ebe kire wo se omo na asase yo mo dia enye nipa ba ako we beba ukọ fufo beba te say de bia nam fufo eba han say enti ha de langal de ye brepa
Robert higher dream pa afen so ye bridge ni nyina say enso to say ya enkwala ni ntimi nko school ade ye fa okada fo nso charge bebre enti ye sra aban say ye kwan na enye no omombra no mombe boa yen afen so no ye ni nsuo wa hanum say pipe ho ya den pa esi ya nsuo gallon ba ko 4 cedis ye bre
ye ka road say wo mantemu hadie menya sure say ye road make say ye dam because a 1 meter road, one big dam. Because every day be a car say wa hanyina obebi so obi a car asay TCC and moto from junction just be a 2 meters kilometer road no ye tua moto fee from junction to baby a obekobiano 10 cedi 20 cedis into your road say wa hanyina anye
to asase a na wo bepa enso no baba no na langa so no be so wo ye adwuma na eno no be ye serious issue ama ya sorry ebo me prepare nkrofo ase nkrofo agapade na ade na ana ma community no eni abredenden ase yem pene malangas for embe say enen kunkum nimpa ese agapade
no kwa langa sam no lokokodo no ha dwi bebre senti de ubebo modia na watu wasase na asase a obeto na enda na woyaba media ochina na woyaba media na emunsam emu atete wo mu de wonsom na yinipa ya so ye boye homodin ye yesre aban ombaso yase ye ka kwan road a branch baya yen kubekrom number 1 number 2 no enso anyi yesre ye ya famu de pa sen so onso maboa yen sa hwia no de be mayo se cement no de be mayo ade biara de be mayo biara no ye bosom na ye so ya hwe ma kwan bi otedam aye fine
me ni mpanifo bebre adi nkomo nyema gu akwa mu but I na politics of boshe many nye ho because afi na meba enti de ma ho de be so no na meba ye se akwanya ne badia na se ye I mean ye wo 2 million ye be ye but say no de e na montu ne yetu na numpo na can assure you say ye be hunu impuntu before December not for election but because somebody started talking.
Fia prekwan a eno ewo Sunyane West Mexico pon assembly nim na enye kora na ne ya na enye no tinam so e ma de hye no esu na sese de atadwefo wa mo atede free say NDC amayoko no panyina wogina mo anamuo ewo afi abatuo ni mo no wabomodin ayisika amakwan no yesiesie ade hye no eni age
Reminiscent Yebo Amankwa eye NDC parliamentary candidate Sunyane West na nensa nkanye mu no wo kire mu se fia prekwan no na ne nyina so na enye kura na atete apansam se ko ntebe enti na amakwa bade nsem no enkoyi mfa ma adehye a wonum ewo honum eno nti ene wode esi gina ye ene wo kire se wo muso wo muni aban mu de nanso so wo se wo ye de obetimi aye bia hwese na de hye no so makobedi nsem efa ne tampa afra
ye besre aban ye wo so se yen pese ye betena ase ate asembo ni bia no ye ya famudie wo mu se ye ni aban mu but aban ni enche ne ni masunya ne west free say ye ka say ye jaya ma bibia aye de wa ebi ochena de ebetena enye de ye de ebe ye famudie but aban ni manani enkosunya ne weso fi se omumfa ento omwadwum se ha sei ye wo soafo a ya paw na ohwe ejuma so nti ye wo minister wo ha onye hwe wo ha sei onye hu
ono de na ha very bad because obi kwa ba me ma me store ne wo no obi ba so obeto ade a nipa nje so wan sa nso to a na bi mo teto ne ade mu ntuntum nyame hran wo ya ade pa enye obi ane be yesa ye wo empanyifo bebre a o mutwa mu koba o mu hu but obi anye ho hwe ntino wo yesa wo ya ade
rom hampanyifo kra o mo atimi ba ebehwe na obi adanani na okọ all because Ghana no kra ka asa no kra nya adwuma biem nti nyame enhira no pa na o ma ne da eso a opese eba mu no nyame mo ano na
MPP for kra ne betwa we first nti ya de nananom de mo amunim ya de pempuntu o emfa ho ne MPP emfa ho ne NDC obi biara obeba na ade bi a enkoyie e wo yen potemu ana ate ye krom a na obaye wadwen se we CPP ni kra na obeboa ya ye de ye bie ya kwan se mpuntuo bize nsu a na ejina ha ekwa ha hwa ba time ntuntum a every 7 kwada ene apemfo ni na koba eba beto mansu
Dr. Christopher Mpedu Echradio Pentecost University no de atudwa se eye kaya yofo dan a yesisi amomo won kra se no bema won no mo esoro ho no no asane abafom ha pa afise won be yomadwe se ha se no wode enti won be ba eto entwada enti nkebe ya abanfa nani enkyere soro ho mum
Sociology lecturer Dr. Christopher Mpedu ewo Pentecost University na ni nkyire mo ode ma ye eni wo se wo mo aye o madwen so o mbesi kaya ye hostel facilities won kramantamu no enya de a kire se ebeboa ama se ye pese ye ti enipa dodo so won kramantamu no yetumi ati saade no so ana se ya so saade no ano rural urban migration no so wo ye ne saade ne kaya ye fu ada bia o mutu bata free man divido mantam ma be piem won kran no ebeto akoso enti se be ya nkomo pampuntu dwuma no kokọ komantam awudo ni nyina so wo ye ne saape saade ni nyina to betwa mampani abede che Dr. Alhaji Muhammad Bawumia e de kaya ye skills empowerment program no baaye se de be ya wo de beboa na kaya ye fo ma no so mbenya bibi aye na enkonko ba se da bia no madwuma no be ya pempem store de enko a
I think say so mo dwun holistically because e be boa nipa where nipa yo mu free enough because of the hopelessness e ho nti eno maba omoba aye no wo hwe dwun mo ya ni chese esese wo ma omo bibiye na aboa omo da chin no mabrabo mu endi su besi dan as a hostel and as a training facility ama omo no so good but then now the consequences everybody say omu nuanu amwo north no bebre beba because onim so ba obetimi anya chance wanya be mpo ana obenya chance ono so ebesua ade a ebema no nsanudwuma bi ama watimi adidi ho policies aye no is for the well-being of nipa ni yedi nipa kanko nipa na sechen wo mu no wonu se obre na ateti wo mu enti se ye policy bi a me face aye nwi nipa ho me most of the politicians no policies am ye no is ni abema mo win votes any here more than the well-being of the individuals. And you know, Gamester say woman say open we need vote, but for what? And for what reason? For nipa no bread, nipa what team we here puse nipa. Ebi mi yadie ku nipa ni binu class. Enye area they say ku nipa. nanso saa tibia mu ne wo nti okwan ben no wetumi afa so aboa se na be ya saa nipa ya yade bi anka se ebo omo owuo bi anse se ekun omo ohia bi posa nipa anse se nka posa omo how okwan ben wetumi afa so ye policy aye ne betumi ayi omo every saa tibia mu akoyedie kanko and so I think say just a popular this year over candidate I mean nipa about Joe ni here na emum no how send a be lift nipa efiti bia woman ene yesu edi abobo efiti bia woman enye no policy ben ene be yi sa nipa yi every sati bia no do makoti bia foforo se mpo o akura o se o baby a wo bia no na ni timi gine kra mu se se die at least no me woti bia foforo mu me kra edi ahrusie
yejina wese so ahome abaye ba bongo di fara wa the sports agudi eba beto asunko baby aye basisia